guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here and for being subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. I've been wanting to talk about this because I talked about it a little bit. TGIF comes on Fox Soul. Funky Dineva, who was on the show, like Quad said, from its conception. I don't know why I had to say that, but I had to throw that in there. And he says that him and Quad are friends. So honestly, I feel like they got a little bit in common, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to talk about some of the tension that has since been noticed and felt by a good bit of people, definitely by the people who follow Funky Dineva on social media, primarily YouTube and Instagram, as well as those who follow TGIF and have watched the show with Claudia, Al, and Funky Dineva. Well, it looks like I wouldn't even say the response. It looks like his statement when he came out to announce his departure from Fox Soul's TGIF and basically saying there was no bad blood, there's no hard feelings. It was a decision that I chose to make, and it basically came down to the money as to why he decided to be up out of there. And then Claudia and Al, they discussed it and said how they, would welcome him back, and people may try to spin the narrative to make it seem like it's something personal between the three of them, but no, it's not. Well, listen, it looks like some things have gone to crap recently with the feelings because apparently something was done that really pissed off Funky Dineva and just made him feel like he was slighted in some way. And I knew that, I won't even say I knew that it was coming, but I felt like it was possible that it was going to take a turn because of a statement, maybe even a few statements that Funky Dineva has said, because I've been watching the show. I cannot say that I've watched every single episode. No, I have not. But I've watched enough of them to know, as well as enough of Funky Dineva to know, because I am subscribed to his YouTube channel and I have watched a lot of his content over the years. I mean, let's just be honest. He has been on YouTube doing what he has been doing, the way he's been doing it for so long that he has definitely developed his core of people, a large core of people, shall we say, because he's almost at 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. That's no small feat. That's no purchasing subscribers. That's no kissing butt or doing whatever to get people to subscribe to your channel. And as most of us know, subscribers don't even really count anymore. It's the views, and he definitely gets the views. Okay. But I'm saying all of that to say that he being a part of Fox Soul's TGIF definitely was something that benefited them more so than him. Yeah, he definitely was making great money in addition to what he was already doing. But I also believe that they may have made a huge mistake by letting him go, but it's possible that for him, he's saying it came down to the money, but it is possible that for Fox Soul, it came down to some things that he may have said and done over the period of time that he was there, that they made the decision to not offer him what he was demanding and commanding. It's possible. I'm not saying that it is, because we know that Fox Soul is not necessarily the Fox News network, but all under the same umbrella. And we know Fox News has kept a lot of problematic people on their network for a very long time. And these people were people that cost the network billions altogether. We're talking about Tucker Carlson, Bill O'Reilly, just to name a few. There's a whole lot more that I'm not going to go down the list of today, but these people had lawsuits, sexual harassment. defamation of character, all kinds of different things that has transpired. Employment discrimination against women, hostile work environment. There's a lot of things that has happened with just that Fox umbrella at the Fox News Network, just to say the least. So I can't really come to the thought that some people felt like they needed to get rid of Funky Dineva because of the comments that he made about Chloe Bailey. I understand people feeling the way that they felt about what he said, but when you factor in the umbrella of Fox and all of the huge amounts of money that the people that they had on air and even behind the scenes working at Fox News have done to cause that the owner and the network itself billions of dollars collectively, nothing that Funky Dineva has said, even if it may have been offensive to a good bit of African American people, I'm not discounting people's feelings, it pales in comparison to what those people do. So I wanted to just speak about that in terms of giving you the broad view of everything and not just this narrow view of TGIF and Fox Soul, because a lot of people who are African American who watch TGIF are not watching Fox News. So I get that. But okay, I digress. Getting off of that, it looks like Funky Dineva is now going to show and prove that they didn't make the right decision and he doesn't need them as much as they did not make the right decision because he doesn't need them as much as they needed him. So now he's going live on his YouTube channel at 8 p.m. And I'm thinking that he's probably going to do it every night, at least for a while. But I will say this. I feel it's his right to do so because there was nothing in his contract. I don't believe there was nothing in his contract that said that since he is on TGIF Fox Soul, he is prohibited from doing similar things on his own YouTube channel. And I'm quite sure he is intelligent. He might be smart on the mouth, but he is intelligent enough to know and not sign something like that. So I'm quite sure that he's able to do what he's doing. And now at this point, the video that he did at 8 p.m. alone himself got over almost 130,000 views. And so if you think about that and him doing this social media post on his Instagram, where he basically said, at the time when he posted it, he said his location is Pettyville, okay? And he said 14,478. That's 14,478,000 viewers. Nah, what was said? You never win when you play dirty. Let's see just how far being conniving, scheming, and trifling gets you. It didn't work. Laughing emojis. Now, I haven't heard everything that has been said, but what I do believe that he is upset about is someone was brought onto the platform as a guest host that he was against or he is not in a good place with. I believe it's Flame Monroe. But here's the thing. Because I like Funky Dineva, I do like Claudia Jordan. I am indifferent towards Al Reynolds, honestly. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I do like the both of them. I just believe that even though Claudia Jordan has been with Fox Soul for a very long time, I don't believe that the decision was made to slight Funky Dineva by Claudia Jordan. Now, could she have possibly spoke up to say, well, no, this is someone that Funky Dineva isn't in a good place with. But here's the thing. And I don't know how much longer the TGIF show is going to last. I'm not wishing anything on anyone. I really wish all of them success in their own right. And I really don't want to see her go down because of a decision that Funky Dineva chose to make for himself. Because ultimately, just like he made the decision for himself to leave because the money just wasn't what was going to make sense for him, she's trying to save herself as well. And she's trying to look out for herself as well. And this is business. It's not personal. So it's kind of, I'm just going to say this, it's kind of unfair for him to make the decision that he made that was going to be the most beneficial for him. And then if the network gave it a go for Flame Monroe to have a voice as a guest on the platform, that she would have to say, no, don't do it because he's not going to like it. He's going to be upset about it. She has to do what's best for her as well, because it's not personal, it's business, you know? So I get where Funky Dineva is coming from, because, I mean, I honestly understand it. It's not the easiest thing to feel like you have been slighted. It looks that way. Instead of just sitting down, not moving in your emotions and feelings, and then speaking about the situation in a very public way. Even though he didn't come out and blast her, technically, a lot of people are assuming and making innuendos. And even he said something to the effect like that on the video that he did. I'm going to try to play that clip, but I do believe that he was trying to just prove a point overall to the entire network that you needed me more than I needed you. You may think that you hurt me by not offering me the dollar amount that I demanded and commanded if you wanted to keep me on board, but you're not hurting me. You're actually helping me and pushing me towards doing what I really should have been doing for myself, which is just focusing on my own platform. So they say everything happens for a reason. I do believe that sometimes the reasons that things happen, it may not feel good, but it may work out for your good if you focus on what you need to focus on to get you to where you need to be. And I will say this, my personal opinion is that over the years watching Funky Dineva, he has given this air of, well, I don't really need this anymore because now I got that. And he would speak about things in sort of an arrogant way. In my opinion, that can be a bit obnoxious, because even when sometimes when he speaks about some of the celebrities or reality stars, shall we say, the reality personalities that he knows is like, well, you know, we're friends, my friend, well, girl, I'm gonna call you, whatever. In a way, he may not see it that way, but it is kind of braggadocious and it can become obnoxious, especially when you hear it over and over again. But I do remember when he was getting the opportunity to be on Sister Circle, and the way he was talking about it, it was like, oh, I got this is going on, and this is great, or whatever. And then when he got released from that, I know that it hurt his ego a bit. He didn't want to let people see him sweat, and he doesn't want to make it look like, oh, they hurt me. But I do believe that definitely did bruise his ego. He's moved on. He continued to do what he was doing on his YouTube channel, and he grew from it. But he was, at that time, pretty much kind of giving the subscribers on his YouTube channel his butt to kiss in a way. In a way. I'm not saying he did completely, but sometimes he would speak about things in a way to just let people know, like, look, I got this opportunity that's coming up, and I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to be doing that. And it's like, well, you can talk about the other opportunities that you have coming up, and that's great, but there's a way to do it. And when he was a part of Fox Soul, I may not have those clips. I wish I did. But I have heard him say out of his own mouth, sometimes there were times on Fox Soul where he would say things where he didn't call anyone's name, but he was just talking about, you know, how he's making great money. He's hanging out on the yachts and going to eat crab legs every weekend and going down to the bar where the rich cars are at and all this other stuff like that, which, you know, sometimes it's funny and it's cute or whatever. But when I know he's had some beef with a few content creators on YouTube, as well as, you know, Flame Monroe, who didn't start out as a YouTube content creator. She, he, we, that's what Flame calls themselves, is a stand-up comedian that happens to now just do content on YouTube. he has made comments, Funky Dineva, he has made comments like, I may not be able to get you in, but I damn sure can keep you out. And saying things like that, that can be seen as arrogance and, well, look where I'm at. And you might be trying to get here, but I'll make sure that never happens because I'm here. So now with him relinquishing his position, whether some people believe he actually was fired, because some people think he was fired, but he's just saying that he quit, like that, think you can't fire me because I quit, whatever. Who cares at this point? You know what I mean? He's no longer there. But with that being said, do they owe him, even Claudia, who he and she, they've said they're friends, and now, do they owe him loyalty to not seat someone in that position of a guest co-host because he is no longer there? And I don't think that that's fair, because if he called these people their friends, I mean, was there some clause in there that said, well, look, you remember these people that I said I don't F with? Make sure you don't bring them on the platform, or we're no longer going to be friends, and I'm going to blast y'all, and I'm going to show y'all that I can do better than y'all. I could do way better by myself than, with the three of us together, and the backing of Fox Soul and on TGIF. And I don't think that that's fair. It's business. It should not be personal. And I get what he's doing. I don't fault him for doing his own thing and pushing harder on his own platform, because I even felt like that too. I'm not saying that he had to do content on his YouTube channel every day, but he was neglecting it to a certain degree. But I feel like he felt some things were happening. So when you started to see an uptick in him creating content on his YouTube channel, I do believe he was doing that because he felt something in the air and knew what was potentially coming, whether it was going to be him relinquishing the position or them relinquishing him from the position. So kudos to him. I'm glad that he's doing what he's doing that makes him happy. He's created a space that a lot of people are envious of, what he has and would love to really be in, which is just being a content creator, having fun doing it. Whether people judge you or not, you're getting the support, or you may be getting backlash, but either way, you're getting paid. Okay. So it's a little bit of I understand, but I also understand Claudia too. And it's an awkward position for her to be in, because she had the, the Cocktails with Queens show. Prior to that, she had Out Loud with Claudia Jordan. She's been with the network for a while, and hate her or love her, she works hard. And I understand that he has to do what he has to do for himself, but he also has to understand that she has to do what she has to do for herself as well. And we can't allow the personal feelings to get involved in it, because that's just not really fair. She has to circle around everyone that he has an ought with. It may seem like, well, I don't think she would ever have Michelle A.T. Brown on there, because she has her own personal things with that person too. So some people may say, well, if she wouldn't bring that person on there where they both had an issue with, then why would she bring someone on that he had an issue with? I get it. I understand. But if that's who the network chose, because I don't think it's just her call. I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I really feel like people should just try to give her grace. But that's just my personal opinion. I like the both of them. And I don't try to choose between one or the other. I know some people are like, I'm Team Funky and whatever. I ain't watching TGIF anymore or whatever. It's people's personal rights to do whatever they want to do. But I have to think about, Claudia Jordan as well. And that was something that she went to the network about. And it was initially she, Al, Funky Dineva, and Gary with the T from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Now, because Ricky Smiley was already employing Gary with the T, I believe he said there was something in his contract that said that he couldn't do what he was doing on their platform as well, because it was similar to what he was doing on his platform. I think that's what it was. So I believe that's why it was only like a couple of episodes in the beginning that he was on, and then he was no longer a part of it. But either way, this is something that Claudia Jordan, I believe, presented to the network. And so she was doing that along with Cocktails with Queens, along with the other work that she's doing. She's working a lot. And I don't want to see her falter and fall because of a situation where Funky Dineva made a decision that was the most beneficial for him in business. It was not personal, it was business. So, yeah.
This, we finna get into whoever that said this was clickbait. It wasn't clickbait. Bitch, I never told y'all I was going in on anybody. And I know that's what some of y'all tuned in for. That's not my tea. I don't get down like that. I like love, peace, and happiness. I just saw the bullshit that a bitch pulled for what it was, and I had to let that hoe know I got her number and don't play with me in my motherfucking face, smiling and kikiing while you conniving and doing some shady ass shit in the background. It's a lot of shady shit going on in the background that's been going on in the background since day one, and I've stayed quiet about it, and I'm going to remain to stay quiet about it because I don't indulge in mess, and I don't like being in beef with drama people. But bitches is not going to play in my face in 2024. In my life, I've always been taught to be the bigger person. And I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I don't care what the Bible says, and I don't care what your mama and all of them say. Being the bigger person has never served me. There are people who I have shown grace to, who I should have punched in the fucking face. And literally, in 2024, that's the energy that I'm on. I'm not being the bigger person anymore. I'm not turning the other cheek anymore. You fuck with me, I'm calling you out. I'm calling out your antics, your little games. I'm letting you know that I fucking see you. And bitch, two can play.
All right, so I stopped it there. And the video was almost an hour long. And so you heard what he said. He was like, I never said I was going in on anybody, because some people felt like, oh, he's about to just tell it all. Let's go. So I'm quite sure that's one of the reasons why this video got as many views as it did, because he pretty much was just doing what he did on TGIF just by himself, which honestly is fine. Because again, what he was doing on TGIF was pretty much what he was already doing all of these years. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to that. And a lot of people follow him just to hear what he has to say, his opinions about certain things that are hot topics, that are in the news, that are relevant at the moment. So there was nothing wrong with that. But he said that he ain't giving people grace no more. This is a year where he's just like, F you and your mama too, I guess. But listen, like I said, I don't know. Like he said, he's been seeing stuff going on in the background for a long time and he hasn't said anything. But unfortunately, a lot of times in business, because this is business, and heck, it may not be Hollywood, but it definitely is show business for the most part. That is that industry. And I really don't think, my personal opinion, I really don't think that it's Claudia personally. So he didn't say any names, so we don't know exactly who he's speaking about. But so we can all assume, but sometimes I think when we assume, that old saying. So I just don't think that we should assume that he is talking about Claudia, but we don't know. All we can do is just listen to what he is saying. And yeah, people can guess, but ultimately it was Claudia's idea to have TGIF. And of course, she utilized Funky Dineva's popularity because, he already had over 500,000 subscribers, I believe, when he started on the platform. If it wasn't already, I believe he already had over 400,000, I meant to say, subscribers on his YouTube channel. And if it wasn't 400, it was close to it. And it grew even more as he was on there. But he has as many, if not more, subscribers for his YouTube channel alone than Fox Soul has. TGIF does not have a YouTube channel. It is on Fox Soul. So definitely, we're not going to lie. like I said, everyone does what is beneficial for themselves when it comes to these situations. Funky Dineva chose to become a part of that because it was something that was going to be beneficial for him at the time. He didn't just do it for fun. He did it because the money was looking right and it was something that was going to add to what he already was doing. Claudia, she created the show because it was something that was going to be, and it was greenlit. So it wasn't like she just did it and that was it. She had to get the approval, and the people that she presented, she got the approval for. Again, something that was going to be beneficial for her, and having Funky Dineva on there, it of course was beneficial for her. So people who want to say, well, she was just using him or whatever. I mean, let's just be honest. Both of them benefited from the situation at the time. And now it's come to an end. I don't know what the personal situation is between the two of them, or even the three, I should say, if we include Al in it at this point in time. But I just wanted to talk about this for a moment because I feel bad that now there's a lot of people that are doing the chit chatter to say, oh, it's going down now. The bad blood is now seeping out, and now we can see whatever they say, like Claudia for her dirty ways, what some people are saying, or some people like, yeah, Funky, he's always been this and he's always been that. People are going to have their opinions. No, none of us are involved in the situation. I just really know that ultimately it's business. And Funky Dineva may have some personal feelings involved when it comes to his speaking about it in the way that he did. I just played a clip of, but that's the industry. That's that industry that you want to be a part of. I'm not saying that it's right, but like Whitney said, it's okay. You're going to make it anyway. And obviously he's making it. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about it, guys. Let me know your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye.